Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our live stream here on Pasticheofskin. We're only about 2 minutes away from the actual live stream of Nintendo Direct, and we're all logged in. We've got everything up and running. If you want to actually join us, we're of course available on twitch.tv/Pasticheofskin or on youtube.com/Pasticheofskin. We're going to check out some of the new releases that are actually coming out from Nintendo Direct today. So, yeah, come and check us out. Come and enjoy the show. This is going to be... I don't normally do the E3 conferences, the bigger ones. I don't normally do like smaller, independent, specific company-wide ones that are actually just kind of coming out on a regular basis. But because Nintendo tend to avoid most of the big events now, rather than like they'll do partnership announcements with like other companies, but they won't actually do like their big thing as a stage presence. These are the way that we get to find out about new games that are being released. The last time they did one for this, it was it wasn't a bad showing, but it was more of a people sitting on a couch talking thing. And I hope this Nintendo Direct is a little bit more energetic, I suppose, because we've been seeing a lot of advertisements for Super Mario Odyssey over and over again, especially on YouTube. They've actually been buying a lot of ad space on people's videos, and I'm curious to know, what have they got new? We know about Super Mario Odyssey. Zelda's been in past. They've been talking about DLC for it a fair amount. We know about a Metroid that's coming to the 3DS. Are we going to get big announcements? The big leak that would happen before this was that Animal Crossing there was a possible leak that it could have been somebody holding up like a fake pass and a fake front screen or whatever. Animal Crossing Night and Day, I think it was the leaked name for it. So maybe we're going to get an announcement for Animal Crossing as part of this, or we may actually be getting another Smash Brothers or a new Mario Kart or something else of itself, because the Switch is actually now it's past its nascent stage where its original releases have skated it comfortably into a very popular piece of hardware. Oh, we've got chatters already in. Yo, how's it going? Very, very quick of you to find me here on the live show. Thanks very much for joining us. There's a live chat that will be happening all the way through this. A brain infected parasite in the GTA world.
Peggy 18.
Yeah, so that's pretty accurate. I need to turn this down so make sure we don't get like free audio repeating on itself. But yeah, we're here for the Nintendo Direct. Just in time, you join me.
皆さんおはようございます。任天堂ダイレクトの案内役を務めます小泉です。
Hi there,
どうぞ
Koizumi.
よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, it's good to see you too, sir. Show us what you got.
任天堂スイッチと任天堂 3DS に関するさまざまな情報をお届けしていきますが、今回のダイレクトでは4つのスポットライトをご用意しています。まずは1つ目のスポットライト、3DS のこのタイトルからです。
Okay. So and this isn't exactly an announcement like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So an updated version of Sun and Moon with a little bit more customizability from what I can tell so far. I'm not too sure about this. Just gonna make sure my audio levels are actually comfortable enough so I'm not being overblown by the game audio. Enemy touch, yep, that makes sense. Turn that down a tiny bit just. Turn that up a little bit higher. So Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon news has appeared, and you can catch it in 4 parts.
So this is actually a actual update?
Trailer, the legendary Pokemon that steals light, Necrozma, has transformed into 2 new forms. Dusk Mane Necrozma, who took over Sol Galeo, and Dawn Wings Necrozma, who took over Lunala.
Right.
Showdown awaits.
There was 3 legendaries, and then one of them infected the other 2 and changed them. Okay.
In addition to new map areas like a beach where surfers gather, a valley of Pikachu, and other facilities, the main characters have stylish new looks. On top of that, there are new clothing items and other surprises to look out for.
So no real, not a massive innovation forward in the Pokemon franchise, is it?
Like
So, I saw that my emails are popping up there because I've got this playing on PC. Go off the screen, stop showing people my emails.
If you purchase either game early, you can get a special Rockruff who will evolve into Dusk form Lycanroc. Somehow, this Rockruff can perform a special move that this Pokemon usually can't learn. Also, if you buy the games on Nintendo eShop by January 10th, you'll receive 12 Quick Balls.
I'm just looking at this. This
And
is
finally, on September 22nd, the Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console titles Pokemon Gold version and Pokemon Silver version.
I'm not
will be
massively
released.
excited about any of
If you
these
purchase either
announcements
one,
because
you can
it's
receive the mythical Pokemon Celebi as a bonus in Pokemon
right.
Sun,
See, it's
Pokemon Moon, Pokemon
to get tying these all together is absolute insanity. So they want people to buy the original Pokemons again on the digital shop, and I mean I can understand that for compatibility purposes, but
Also, unknown
why I'm so not interested in this.
Burst and UB Assembly will make their debut. With UB Burst in Pokemon Ultra Sun and UB Assembly in Pokemon Ultra Moon. That's the latest news I have, so please follow our coverage to see these Ultra Beasts in action and much more.
Ultra
Pokemon
Beasts.
Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon launches November 17th. This themed new Nintendo 2DS XL system will get a limited release.
Oh,
on the
dude, they've
same
been
day.
out of ideas
In
for
addition, in Europe,
Pokemon
limited amount
creation
box
since the
versions
first
of
one. I mean, I
Pokemon
always
Gold
loved the
and Pokemon
original
Silver with a digital
because
download code
of
inside
its
will also be available from stores.
always enjoyed the
Please
originals
check it
because
out.
of the design of the creatures was actually pretty unique and was actually based on legends and history, and they actually had like essentially a Charmander was a salamander, or there's kind of like people behind the idea.
Every hee-hee and ha-ha of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga has been remade for Nintendo 3DS.
Right, so the remaster and re-releasing.
Princess Peach's stolen voice from
So this
Tech
is
Letta
new stuff.
all over
It is
again.
really just like
And in the
upgrades and
all-new
improvements
Minions Quest,
rather than actually
search
like bringing
for
back
Bowser.
IPs and
We'll
stuff.
go behind the scenes of Mario and Luigi's adventure to learn the somewhat heroic tale of Bowser's minions. The classic story mode also has new stamp
Okay,
sheets.
well that's a nice
Tap the
thing to actually do.
toggle
Like,
amiibo figures
they
to
actually put a
scan
new
them,
game
earn new
element to
equipment.
it.
You can also tap the Boo Amiibo figure or the new Goomba and Koopa Troopa figures to get 2 additional stamp sheets that offer up items in both modes of the game. The more stamps you have, the more equipment and items you'll earn. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions laughs
As a
its way
side
on Nintendo
story.
3DS systems October 6th. The new Goomba and Koopa Troopa amiibo launch that same day.
Gotta collect those
Kirby is
amiibos.
about to enter a tournament against his toughest rival yet, himself. And his new game, Kirby Battle Royale, offers a variety of ways to fight. In Battle Arena mode, everyone battles until the
Okay,
last
so this is
Kirby
new.
standing wins. In
So,
Order Express
a
mode, you hold
brawling
treasure
Kirby
until the
game?
fastest Kirby
I like
wins.
the idea. I like this
And
concept and
just
actually like the
getting
design of it.
started.
Just a versus dungeon crawlery kind of thing. Oh, bosses and all.
Fight to the best of your copy abilities and prove you're the one Kirby to rule them all.
Haha.
There's a single-player story mode too, not to mention regional online battles.
This looks like it could be actually quite
Kirby
fun.
Battle Royale will fight its way here November 3rd.
So has Battle Royale?
By the
Battle Royale's
way,
already
we're holding
been
a poll
released.
to celebrate Kirby's
Yeah, it's been
25th
released
anniversary
Japan
to
side
crown the
already
world's
for a fair bit
favorite
of time.
copy
So I
of it.
imagine there's actually been a pretty much
If you're interested,
a bit of hype for
please
this
check
coming
out
out.
my site for more details.
Kirby always has been one of my favorite characters. We all know the backstory of why he exists
Catriel
with the
Layton,
legal
daughter
issues
of the
that
famous
Nintendo would run
Professor
into with
Layton,
Donkey
is on
Kong.
the case.
But
And luckily,
it's
some
kind of fun to
things
actually
run in
see
the
that the
family.
Kirby's
In
still
the
living
7th
strong.
main installment of the Layton series.
Professor
Search for
Layton
clues,
continues.
help out townspeople, solve puzzles, and hopefully save the day. Try on an exclusive Flora costume, only available in the Nintendo 3DS version of the game. And be there the day she opens her detective agency. Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy launches on Nintendo 3DS.
So I'm assuming this is actually the
October
next
6th.
generation of the Professor Layton series now, where they Layton's grown old and he's been replaced by his daughter. Is it? Fashion, glam, let's look good.
In Nintendo Presents, New Style Boutique 3 Styling Star. Manage your own fashion boutique. Meet
Yeah.
customers and find stylish
It
outfits to suit
did
their
feel like
needs.
that the DS was
This
a
time,
very
your customers'
like
stories may
widespread
unfold
home to
differently
these
based
type
on
of
the outfits
games.
you select. Become a top stylist and work with the stars to be. Which look will they rock for their on-stage debut? It's up to you. Choose from over 20,000 new and returning fashion items, with much more to discover.
So it does feel that this is very much one of the Hatsune Miku games that actually, whoa, action breaking up there. That it's just about taking the dolls, putting them in a different set of costume as they do their performances, and then going back and doing it again and doing it again. Just to see all the iterations of it, which I personally have never had fun with, even on the Project Diva game series that have actually been available on the PS4. So I'm sure there's a particular class of player that actually really is looking forward to that.
Coming to new Nintendo
There you
3DS
go.
systems.
Which apparently is going to have crossover between the DS, Switch,
or
PC, and
creative
stuff.
modes.
But I'm curious to know how they're going to actually
These
make that
included
all
5 skin
compatible.
packs and the 2 texture packs to customize your game. Your inventory, crafting, and map.
There's always going to be another way to put Minecraft onto another device so people can play it. But at this point, I imagine most kids are playing on tablets and playing it with controls. Like, I honestly have issues giving control pads to younger children now. They actually, they take a control pad and what do I do? I'm like, you press the buttons.
For years,
like, well, which button? I was like, on the screen it'll tell you. But they're used to actually having like on-screen prompts to where they need to press.
We partied like it was 1999
Ugh.
because it was. And now, the best minigames from all 10 home console titles are going portable on Nintendo 3DS. We've curated the top
Good grief, for Mario Party.
the most ever in a single
Mario Party to Mario Party
title,
10.
to
Yeesh.
create the best one yet. The game supports
The Mario Party's
download
always
for up
felt
to
like
4
a completely...
people. So with just one game card,
Oh, alright, so multiplayer, so only one person needs to actually own it as well. That's one of the major things that have always been important with the more portable, modern portable Nintendo releases, as long as you can actually don't have to own 4 copies and 4 consoles, or you have 4 copies of the game, then at least you can always play with your friends.
Metroid: Samus Returns finally arrives. on
Metroid,
Nintendo
the
3DS.
Metroid 2 remake.
And
So this was
everyone
originally
from
made
Metroid fans
as
to
an
Super
original
Smash
Game Boy
Brothers
game,
fans should
as far as I
take
remember.
notice. This
So this is a remake of it,
meticulously
with
crafted
well,
adventure
plot-wise,
contains
with a lot of
immersive
changes.
3D visuals, atmospheric exploration-based gameplay, versatile weaponry, powerful new abilities, and some truly wicked bosses.
Nice.
Who or what will you encounter on this deadly planet?
Come on, glitch over the screen and now show us like there's a new Metroid for... Hey!
Metroid: Samus
Ah,
Returns is
I thought that was gonna be like an
scheduled to
interrupt and
launch
then like be a
September
surprising release that there's gonna be a Metroid for the actual Switch.
15th. Don't forget, on October 13th, we'll release
The
a new
3DS Super
3DS
Nintendo.
XL with a retro feel. New Nintendo 3DS XL Super Nintendo Entertainment System Edition.
Literally,
Plus,
ironically,
if
I
you
would
missed it
actually
the first time
purchase
around,
this.
these great
I would
games
actually,
will be added to the
I've
Nintendo
not gone
Select
anywhere
range
near
on
the
same
DS
day.
since
Luigi's Mansion
the...
2.
literally the DSi, I suppose. Like, no, I didn't even do the DSi, I just did the DS
New
Lite.
Nintendo
So I haven't actually
3DS
touched
XL,
one since then,
Super
so
Nintendo
I would actually be
Entertainment
tempted to
System
in back
Edition,
in with either the
and
2DS
Nintendo
or the
Select
3DS
titles
XL
will be released on
designed as a Super
October
Nintendo, just for the fact that it actually looks nice, reminds me of it, and I would like to play older games.
Works for RPG fans. 9 characters' paths will converge in Alliance Alive, an all-new old-school RPG.
Good on
from
Atlas.
Atlas
Atlas
into
always
the
bringing us
release
the
on
RPG
Nintendo 3DS
stuff.
systems in early 2018. What's more, the new Etrian Odyssey 5 Beyond the Myth demo will be releasing shortly after this presentation.
Hey, free demos out and release for anybody who actually is on console.
2 new titles from beloved series are almost here.
No
Uncover the
objection!
mysterious origin of everyone's favorite lawyer, an Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. And soon, the bonds between heroes will decide their fates in
Ooh,
Fire
a Dynasty
Emblem
Warriors Fire Emblem.
That's all for today's Nintendo.
That I'm actually
3DS
quite interested in.
headlines.
I've always been a big fan of the Dynasty Warriors series, and their Hyrule Warriors game was actually pretty cool. Although admittedly, I kind of like play the Gundam ones a lot more than anything else.
最初にご紹介するのは2つ目のスポットライト
Right!
ゼノブレイド2です
Xenoblade
こちら
Chronicles
をご覧くだ
2.
さい
This is Allrest, a world covered in a sea of clouds. Many giant life forms called Titans live in this cloud sea. People have
Words!
built their countries and lives on top of these creatures. In the middle of this world stands the World Tree, and it's said that at the top of it lies Elysium.
Wasn't the World Tree was the Dragon Quest thing as well, wasn't it?
Land of plenty. Many great powers rule over regions of Allrest. The kingdom of Uriah is one of them, its territory contained within their titan.
I'm on board with the Xenoblade Chronicles series. It was apparently the biggest complaint people had with it. Again, not being a Switch or a Wii U user, I've actually had to miss out on some of these games just only being able to watch them peripherally by other people. So, Xenoblade Chronicles, I heard that the main complaint was that you didn't really get into your mechy, combat-y, kind of like interesting stuff until like 2/3 of the way through the game, which is fine because some games it's not really the main focus. But with a sequel like this, I imagine they're kind of going to have to bring that up forward a fair bit more.
A plentiful land.
Gorgeous looking game, especially for a big world RPG on a Switch on the portable system. We've obviously seen it with Breath of the Wild being able to be done, but now we're actually seeing like big architecture. We're not just seeing the wilds and generated city, or no, generated hillsides.
They hold much influence over the world's military affairs. Next, the Argentum Trade Guild. A shrewd consortium of traders.
So, are you actually involving yourself with each of these people, or is this just a lot of background information for a game that's a long way out from release? Because this looks pretty clean and like, put together rather than a first look.
To achieve their mysterious goals. Before long, this world will fall into turmoil over efforts to find the legendary blade, the Aegis.
That is precisely the kind of scenario that I mean to prevent.
Hand her over to a grown-up.
Hand her over. So obviously, the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has this actually been already Japan released, because this is dubbed material that we're actually hearing. So for Nintendo Direct over here, showing us. Well, it's a lip sync for Japanese. This can be too far off from release, which is actually pretty exciting to see. Give me a big adventure like that. That'll actually that would make me buy the Switch because Zelda doesn't actually hold my attention that well.
Of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My name is Azota. Oh yes, that's me right there. I may be relatively small, but I am also a Titan. And this little troublemaker is the protagonist of our story, Rex, who lives on my back. I suppose you could say I'm his landlord.
That's a little bit creepy.
And his guardian, too. He refers to me as Gramps. You may call me the same. Rex used to work as a servant.
This is making use of the lip flaps to almost match it up.
From beneath the cloud sea. Until one day he met a girl named Pyra, and the two set off on a quest to deliver her safely to Elysia.
Adventure! I love the design of Xenoblade Chronicles because it makes me feel like I'm looking at a Star Ocean or a Phantasy Star game, and I like that. I like that fantasy technology mix. It actually makes me kind of happy. So Xenoblade Chronicles. I wanted to play it, but I just wasn't on that console anymore. But Switch is tempting me. It's literally tempting me back to Nintendo, just on the strength of these 1 or 2 titles alone. It doesn't have to have as many games out for it if it's going to be doing this kind of stuff. That is huge, big backgrounds. I love the fact that characters are tiny in comparison to the world, just whenever you're running around.
Are living beings, each with our own quirks, which you must learn to navigate. Of course, you'll also cross paths.
So each of the dungeons essentially is Titan to Titan.
On these Titans, it's their home too. But it's sadly
interesting. Good way of actually containing the map, stopping it from being a massive world.
Those who fight together with synthetic life forms called blades, like Rex does, are known as drivers. When drivers do battle, their weapons and powers are granted to them by blades, such as Pyra, for example.
Right.
Up to 3 drivers and 3 blades can work together at any one time. As you continue attacking with your normal weapons, you constantly work toward charging up your driver arts.
And that's their skills. You're boosted by their blades.
With some allowing you to inflict extra damage depending on your positioning.
Alright.
While other, more arcane arts can cause HP potions to appear. Just use them wisely and watch closely the tide of battle to know when best to deploy them.
So it's an active combat situation, kind of like Basaria or some of the other Tales of series. Bit of positioning, keeping yourself and keeping your blade further away from your enemy while you actually pull in the front line.
Things won't always go your way, so it's important to learn the benefits of switching blades. By using items called core crystals, drivers can awaken new blades. This is known as resonance. You aren't limited to just one. A single driver can bond with multiple blades.
Right.
Weapons and arts available to you depend on the blades with which you bond.
So you've got characters that are actually part of the plot that are blades, and then you have generic ones. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, please don't let anybody be playing as Titus.
Sometimes you may muster
Oh, look way too much like a blitzball attack.
Oh? Looks like you hit the jackpot this time. You can take up to 3 blades into battle with you. With each blade being either an attacker type, defender type, or a healer type, it's important to switch blades and tactics in step with your situation.
Right. I want to see a switch happening here. Alright. Yeah, so literally each...
Using the right blade for the job at hand.
So each one has 3 blades. Each character will have 3 blades, but there's 3 drivers that you would have. So you have permutations of like 9. Meanwhile, one's your attack. Okay, that's it. I can get behind that. That's very it feels inverted, you know, rather than the whole Pokemon thing where you actually you're the person throwing out the multiple characters. It's the multiple characters that are controlled, essentially like supporting you.
The blade to deliver a devastating attack.
Big balls, big attacks.
Specials have 4 levels of intensity, and I must say, levels 3 and 4 are a bit too wild for my taste. So
yes, I am just an old man.
You are still a bit green, but one day you may work your way up to being a great driver yourself. There is much more to learn, but consider this a sneak peek. You can
those look good.
Into something more and really turn the tide. And now it's past my bedtime. Your journey through the clouds begins when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 launches on Nintendo Switch December the 1st.
December 1st? Nice. So it is damn close to release. That's gonna be a big Christmas title, actually. Yeah, I'd like that. That's what if I got that in December, I'd still be playing that through to February. That's actually pretty damn cool. And of course, collector's editions. Every game has to have a collector's edition now. Not too sure about that Xenoblade pad though. But imagine if they do a package deal where you can buy the Switch with that pad and the collector's edition, it'll probably sell. It'll sell like gangbusters.
Splatoon 2 is one happening game. Backed by popular demand, it's Kelp Dome. Now with some fresh twists.
Don't care about Splatoon.
Extra great.
I couldn't stand its controller-based look functions on the Wii. It just annoyed the life out of me, and just didn't get into it whenever I was playing it with my nieces and nephews, and not interested in playing it any further. So Splatoon's cute. It's interesting. It's
figuring out how to break
then
push through the other team's base.
Like an objective-based kind of shoot-em-up rather than about killing your opponent by painting the ground.
Umbrella.
I really do like that.
It's sort of like a regular umbrella, except, whoa, that's huge. It kind of looks like a big camping tent, capable of guarding over a large area. The Kelp Dome stage we showed earlier will be
liking that though. They're being a little bit more inventive with their weapon types, skills. So imagine there's actually people who like really specialize in this and played a lot of it. So fair play.
Warriors from across the Fire Emblem series have been summoned to stop the Chaos Dragon and uncover the mystery of the Shield of Flames. Each one will face
another Switch game that might actually get me involved because of being a Dynasty Warriors-esque game. I do love these. Fire Emblem series, I'm very weak on. Again, it's because I've stayed away from the 3DS and from the Wii U and stuff. Like literally, only knowledge I had the Fire Emblem characters were the ones that came out before the Smash Bros. Games.
Hailing from Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Lindis of the Lorca lends us her steel. Keep your eyes on the horizon, soldier. A new trailer launches today.
That's cool to actually see a recognizable character too. That's a badass. The older games, the older Fire Emblem games before that point were actually the ones I was aware of because I found out about them from learning about Marth and the other characters that were actually all showing up in the Smash Bros. Games and then had to go back and look at them. And of course the amiibos for each one of them. Gotta do that. Yeah, why wouldn't you do that? You gotta make more monies. Well, you want some of the monies. You want all of the monies.
And in stores. Snipper Clips Plus, cut it out together. A new expanded version of the game that packs in all the paper antics of the original, plus more than 30 new stages, including a world based on comic books, and a toy box world too. Oh, and get this. A new feature lets you replay all the original stages in a brand new way. You start with one of many random body shapes that will require some hilarious new approaches. So fans of this cult hit and newcomers alike can enjoy all of this new
I'm
content.
getting bored with that.
Family. Snipper Clips
Is actually a very fun game to see played by streamers. I would give Snipper Clips a try here on stream. If they just want to sit down with more guests, I'd like to have more local co-op games, and the Switch seems to be pushing itself really towards local co-op.
Change your size to change your powers in Morphe's Law, a local and online team-based multiplayer shooter coming to Nintendo Switch.
Wow.
With teams of shape-shifting robots, this is no ordinary shooter. Hitting a Morphe's body part will make it shrink, and make the same body part of that shooter grow. As the size of each body part changes, your abilities will change too, forcing you to change tactics as well. Example, larger legs will improve your jumping game, and your hand size changes the way you use your grappling hook.
Okay.
Clever players might even transform their allies on purpose. Your team's avatar is only as big as your team members combined, so keep it safe. The team with the tallest avatar wins the round.
I like that design.
Law launches first on Nintendo Switch as a
Alright, so I'm really, because they're always trying to find a way to actually get these same game types that everybody else has been playing on other consoles or more violent or whatever else, and they want to actually get it onto their consoles. So that's actually a good way to get around it. You don't kill the opponent, you just shrink them.
Fans have come to expect.
And of course, Rocket League, as it continues, these lunatics that can actually direct themselves in the air.
First ever Nintendo-themed battle cars, along with the new addition of local wireless multiplayer. Check out Samus's gunship with its wave beam boost.
That's awesome. Actually, I really like the look of the Samus car.
Super Star boost. Just pick the blue team to play as Luigi, or the orange team to play as Mario. But to rep your love for Nintendo, you'll first have to earn these sweet wheels in the game. You'll have your chance.
Fair enough. That's actually not too bad. Rocket League, obviously, again, it's like the Minecraft thing. It's got to be on every goddamn console.
Multiplayer online battle arena game.
MOBAs.
Experts at Tencent Games. Explore and command a roster of over 35 fearless heroes, with roles including tanks.
It makes sense because of the Switch being as mobile as it is, and Wi-Fi ubiquity. The MOBA multiplayer world had to actually get involved in Nintendo in some way, shape, or form. It's because it all they've appeared on the consoles. Otherwise, they're on Xbox, they're on PS4. So getting them onto the actual the portable device where people literally will not actually ever put them down. Kind of a smart move.
Carry your team to the finish line
and MOBAs, you're not looking for visual detail. You're just trying to actually get the best frame rate and action and latency minimization as possible, so it'll work.
Coming to Nintendo Switch.
And as long as Bethesda can keep making money from Elder Scrolls re-releasing, they'll keep doing it. I've known about this for way too long.
Virtually be anyone and do anything can now be played anywhere.
I'm sorry guys, never been an Elder Scrolls fan. I actually I love that every time there's a new Elder Scrolls game, I get a new Fallout, and that's cool for me. But Skyrim and Oblivion just did not get my attention. Admittedly, the online, the MMO, Elder Scrolls Online, actually had a fair amount of fun with that. I've always wanted to go back to it, but I just never don't have time for actually an MMO to actually focus on. You don't get to play 25 games a week if you're playing an MMO. You're playing an MMO for 4 to 5 days of gameplay that you can get. So that's what? Oh, that's right. The Zelda stuff.
This version of the game launches exclusively on Nintendo Switch November 17th in Europe and the Americas.
So all close releases. They're literally looking at November, December releases for near everything so far.
Two iconic first-person shooters to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
id Software, the studio that pioneered the genre, is bringing the critically acclaimed Doom to your TV and anywhere you want to be.
That's a bit crazy, actually.
Demons with devastating guns and single-player and crush your friends in online multiplayer when Doom tears onto Nintendo Switch this winter. Machine Games' Wolfenstein 2 sends you on a mission to liberate a Nazi-controlled America. Only you have the guts, guns, and gumption to spark the Second American Revolution.
I do need to sit down and finish Wolfenstein. It was actually one of those games I enjoyed. Narratively, it was pretty fun. So Wolfenstein 2 actually getting on. I wouldn't mind actually getting ready for that by replaying through the first one.
And it's packing a new online battle mode, Class Matches. This mode has its own leaderboards, encouraging you to try and move up to the next class. It also introduces a red-hot new stage surrounded by bubbling magma. In the Red Coliseum, panels are plagued by flames. and if you accidentally touch them, your character will become harder to control. Some other new mechanics are being added too. Spinners that flip over panels. The new update will usher in local wireless.
That looks like a lot of fun, actually. It's just again, it's a Splatoon-esque Bomberman paint the floor kind of game. Why have we not got a Bomberman game yet? Why is that like Hudson Soft still sitting on Bomberman and not showing us anything? Because it needs to exist.
Fans, it's quiz time. Recognize this arcade cabinet?
Yeah, the original.
It certainly has been a while.
Mario Bros.
Finally, after many years, our arcade titles are making a return, and the first one is Mario Brothers. By sharing your Joy-Con, you can run, jump, and compete. I mean, cooperate to win. Notice the little visual details from the arcade version. Other arcade classics are on the way too, including Super Mario.
They changed that shit up. There's new animation for them. That's not the original arcade games. You can't call them the original arcade games if they're using the like non-original animation.
Versus Clue Land and more. These arcade games will contain other subtle differences you can't find in their NES counterparts. See if you can spot them. Arcade Archive.
Well, that's the original arcade
September 27th.
Punch-Out compared to the Nintendo ones. So arcade releases of them, arcade versions of them.
Some news for Zelda fans.
Cool. Are we going to get? Are they going to find out that they've stolen the main emulator and just running on the console?
On November 10th.
Amiibos, more of them.
Materials and weapons, but unlike other amiibo, they'll conjure up headgear based on the champion's divine beasts. They have functional purposes as well, and we'll have more info soon. Whether you compete in a court or a ring, there's no shortage of great sports games for Nintendo Switch this year, with big gameplay improvements and stunning graphics.
Sports time! That's actually has to happen at some point. There's always going to be sports time.
In Nintendo eShop, and in retail October 17th. Fans of sports entertainment should also note that WWE...
The greatest game in sports entertainment today!
Well, EA Sports FIFA 18 is the most immersive...
Did they show any game footage of 2K18?
Take the world's...
They haven't shown any WWE, WWF, WWE, whatever, fucking 2K18. They didn't show any footage of it because they're probably going like, oh, we can barely get that to run at 30 frames a second.
Nintendo Switch next week, and the demo version is available right now, so give it a try in anticipation of the game's launch.
So Pokken Tournament. Well, isn't Pokken, it's a Namco game, so it's actually a Tekken fighter. I wouldn't mind giving it a try. Okay. First you had my attention, now you have my interest, motherfuckers. This is coming from
the faraway land of Orstera.
Okay, I've seen this game before.
Venture forth. Step into their
Why have I seen this before?
I'm
trying to remember what it was.
As you see fit.
I'm not too sure I'm actually liking the design though. I mean, it's a potentially retro looking RPG with very, very beautiful modern backgrounds, but the characters are very simplified.
To be told. So tell me, friend.
What a deep story.
Oh, welcome back.